Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We're gonna be doing some RC stuff today. Ended up actually running out of town on the mini bike, so gouged my knee up pretty bad, and had to get. I think they said they put 5 dissolvable stitches on the inside of my arm, and then 11 on the outside. So it was gashed up pretty good. Just lucky I had my helmet on, and honestly, I was only wearing jeans and a t-shirt, and that day I decided to throw a backpack on to possibly stop at the store, and me and a buddy were riding some trails. So the next video, I'll more than likely show you some of the damage, because I'm waiting on a couple parts just to kind of at least get it running, and I'll probably just kind of ride it around for the rest of summertime, and then over winter time I'll end up tearing it back down to the frame and getting the frame redone and all that good stuff. But yeah, ran out of talent on that one, so while I'm waiting for parts and just kind of getting back to 100%, we're gonna do some RC stuff now. So as you can see, I got quite a few here. So I've been into RC cars since I was a kid, and on and off, and kind of got back into them some years back, and so gotten rid of some and I've kept some, but you know, I'm kind of into the bashers and the crawlers. Really never really got into like any of the race buggies or any of that type of stuff, unfortunately. I just kind of like having fun with it. I'm a pretty competitive person, so wasn't really anything I wanted to give myself the headache over. So actually just got this new Losi 5T-E 3.0. Thing looks pretty wicked. I've always wanted a 5T, just never really could bring myself to fork out the cash for some of the ones I would find. So once I saw this thing come out, how big it was, I was, figured this was kind of right up my alley. Something that's, obviously I got 10 scale crawlers and stuff like that. I got a 8 scale Italian, but I'm definitely a pretty big fan of the big scale rigs. As you can see up there, I got a 1/5 scale Outcast. That one's pretty dialed in. Got M2C beefcake kit, M2C big bore shocks, big motor, ESC, all that good stuff. Super fun rig. But a couple weeks ago, I ended up taking my Italian out for a little bit, and just kind of loved how that one performed. Super stable for a smaller RC car, and that just kind of made me realize that, if I could find something in the 5th scale world that was as stable as my Italian, just something you can just flat out rip and don't really have to constantly worry about it wanting to backflip or roll over, was kind of what I was looking for, because that's kind of the biggest thing that's got me into the crawlers for a little while, is the fact that the big 8 scale rigs or 5th scale rigs, like my Outcast anyway, it's just a wheelie monster. So it's hard to keep that thing on all 4, and super fun truck, but it's just kind of fun to rip around a big field or big dirt field or something like that with a big rig that can stay on its wheels and just keep it flat out, which is pretty cool. So I'm not going to do any crazy unboxing video. It seems like there's plenty of those out there. So I'm just going to tear this thing open and kind of get a first glance at it, since I personally never had one, never seen one in person yet. I know I got a few local guys around me that I've seen that have gotten them, and they just look super sweet. So figured it was time that I probably just get myself another big scale rig that I enjoy driving. So let's get this thing cut open and check it out. All right, got to take it out of the box. That box is massive. This thing's actually kind of awkward to carry. Had a kind of goofy time getting that box up on the table just because of how big it is. It's almost, you almost borderline need 2 people to carry that box when you first get the thing. But got it out of the box here, so I'm gonna pull the plastic wrap off here and check this thing out in all its glory. So what I can say is this thing is super sweet. The plastics feel super durable. Looks like it's got a little bit of a metallic in the plastic or the paint, which is pretty cool. So that kind of, sure, that'll pop a little bit in the sun. The tires are absolutely massive. Obviously I got, you know, a 5th scale rig with some pretty good sized tires on it. These are actually the biggest tires that they make for an SCX6, and these are pretty much dwarfed by the Losi tires here. I mean, this thing's probably a good 1/2 inch taller. They're probably about the same width, but you know, considering those are pretty good sized tires. I want to say these Mickey Baja tires for the SCX6 are, I think they're almost 8 inches tall. So they're a pretty chunky tire, but you know, 6th scale, 5th scale, a little bit different as well. So, but this thing is an absolute unit. The window nets are super cool. I really like that little detail. The cage looks nuts on the inside. I know there's some body clips up front here that, oh wow, those actually come out super easy. So not like you gotta sit there and fight with them to get them off. It's on this table, it's kind of awkward to mess with, so I got the clamp off. But pretty cool design on the bottom. You got these locking latches that actually hold the body on. And then you got the pins in the front and rear to just really secure this thing to the chassis, which is pretty cool because basher rigs obviously take a little bit of a beating and bodies usually always come off or something like that. Man, these shocks are huge. Let's get a closer look at this thing. All right, got this thing on the table here. The gears on this thing are huge. Nice big Spectrum 1000 torque servo. Got the dual steering bell crank. And again, the shocks, these things just, I mean, these things are the size of a small Red Bull can, which is just crazy. So definitely gonna use almost a full bottle of shock oil to refill those bad boys. Power button, super easy to get to. I really like that design actually, which is super nice. Super easy to turn on and off from the back side of the body there. Cool spare tire. I really like that for scale actually. Just looks really cool with the truck itself. Got some dust boots on there. Front and rear sway bars, which look pretty beefy. These center drive lines are absolutely insane. I like that it's got the metal alloy shock towers already, so those will definitely hold up pretty good. But the weight of this thing, that thing is, yeah. She's got some girth to her for sure. I'm just really excited to get this thing out and kind of rip it around, so not gonna waste too much time going over all the details. You can find all that stuff online. And like I said, you know, plenty of unboxing videos where guys take them apart and kind of go over every little detail. So something like that, definitely refer to one of those videos and go a little more in depth if that's what you're looking for. So we're gonna get this thing out, get it ripping. Ended up, I don't actually even have any 6S batteries because the biggest thing I have is 5th scale 8S. And from the videos I've seen, people that have ran them on 8S don't seem like they really have too much power or too much speed. Just kind of looks really underwhelming on 8S. So you almost got to run this thing on 12S if you really want to have fun with it. I've even seen some guys already putting these things on 16S and they just look absolutely insane. So Ended up getting these batteries on Amazon. They're just some 6,000 milliamp batteries. They were on sale. I think they were like almost half off. So picked up 2 sets of them for, I think, a little under 200 bucks, and the original price was like 120 bucks or something. So, but either way, ended up saving me about 100 bucks. Which definitely can't complain about. So, and they're just some 6,000 milliamp batteries, nothing crazy. Soft case, EC5 connector, and these are the 120Cs, so hopefully they'll give it some good punch. So we'll go ahead and get some batteries in here and see what this machine's all about. All right, guys, we got the 5T out here. We're gonna take this thing for a rip, check it out, see what it's about. Got some batteries in there, so let's get them plugged in, and we're gonna go. Got this big grass field out here that I'm gonna take it out on. There's a kind of a little mound right here in this area, so maybe I can use that as a little bit of a jump. And there's another little mound kind of over in the middle of the field as well that might be able to jump it off of or do something with. So, and we'll check her out. Let's get her going. Oh, almost hit that rock. This thing moves. Not really a good enough lip there to get any air off it, I guess. Yeah, it's not bad, but definitely could use about another 10-15 mile an hour to be a lot more fun. GoPro back there a little bit. Close. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, land's awesome. wide open. Now that was a good crash. Wow, nothing broke. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Everything's still... Didn't have enough beans up top to keep her floating. Oh, lost the GoPro on top of the car. And the sticker pushes. Didn't hit the brakes fast enough on that one. So smooth, I can't believe it's not butter. Uh-oh. Lost steering for a second. Oh, that was weird. Wow. Oh! Wow. Durability test, I guess, is what this is turning into. Oh my. hit low voltage. All right, let's go back to the truck and I'm gonna check temps. We almost made it. Low voltage cut out about 50 yards from where I was, about 30 yards from my truck. See if shutting it off and turning it back on, I don't want to carry this hog. Nope, so turning it off and back on does not give it any more juice when those batteries hit low voltage cutoff. Sure. Oh, nope, there we go. All right, let's get back to the truck. All right, we got a ton of grass in here, so flip this thing over. It's a good dog. All right, let's check temps on this thing here. So the end of the motor's coming in at, right in the center is about 123. Side of the motor is 130, 126. Up under the fans is reading 130. ESC is reading 118. 118 on the ESC. These are 6S, 6,000 milliamp 120C batteries. I'd say probably about 15-minute runtime out of them. The side of the battery is reading 120, 115. We're down to 110. Top of the battery is reading 130. 130 on both sides of the top of the battery. $125, $127. $125, $127 on the other battery. Top of the steering servo, just for curiosity, is showing about 90 degrees. And I think it's about 80 degrees out today, so it's not super cold, not super warm. Could be hotter. See if the shocks are giving any sort of temp. Shock bodies in the rear are reading 90. Shock bodies in the front are reading 85. So kind of ambient temp, I guess, as far as some of the other stuff, but the motor, the ESC, and the batteries are a little warm. All right, guys, we just got done running the 5T 3.0. I'm just using some batteries I found on Amazon. Honestly, they were a pretty good deal, and I didn't have any 6S batteries, so, and I wanted 2 sets basically to run it longer if I wanted to. So I picked these up because they were borderline like half off. So I got 4 6S batteries basically for I think it was less than $200, which I figured, you know, would be good enough for now. And then figured out, you know, if I want to run it longer or do anything like that, I'll just end up getting a few more batteries or seeing what happens. But for now, these will do the job. So I want to say about 15 minutes runtime is what I got with them, and that's running in this field over here. So a big open field, which you'll see obviously, and just yeah, about 15 minutes. So seems like it's pretty good to have some fun with, and then swap packs. Obviously there's bigger batteries out there if you want to run longer, which, you know, if I go to any little events or something like that, you know, it'd be a good investment for those, so I can run it for 20 or 30 minutes. But at the end of the day, swapping batteries, that's kind of I'd say the biggest pain about this thing. Obviously it's heavy and it's big, but swapping batteries with 4 straps per battery they have is kind of tedious. So it would be nice just to have some batteries in there that you don't got to swap out as often, obviously. But overall, this thing's a ripper. Have two ran out of talent moments and biffed it. One, I think it's because it was getting close to me that I panicked a little bit, hit the brake, and gave it a little nosedive, and she took a tumble there. But everything's fine, honestly. There's no damage, nothing's broken, bumper's not cracked. Body's got a couple scrapes on it, but other than that, you know, basically tore up the decals, so nothing that's not replaceable for sure. And yeah, I'm glad this body's pretty durable, because I definitely I like the kind of sparkle blue with the orange, and I really don't want to change that anytime soon, so I'll probably run this body until it's tattered. But yeah, overall, this thing's a ripper. Tires, I'd say, perform better on gravel than they do anything else, maybe dirt. For the grass, it doesn't have much traction, so spins a little bit, but obviously you can get some different tires on there for some more grip. I'd say the only other thing is it needs either a little more weight in the front or some adjustments in the front, because you know, anytime it gets that body sway, it definitely takes some weight off the front end and pushes a little bit. On gravel, you know, I don't know, I like sliding it, so I think on gravel they do pretty well, because even though all 4 tires are spinning, it's going kind of crazy. It seems like it's pretty tame as far as, you know, point it where you want it to go and it goes. But overall, this thing is a super sweet rig. So if you're like me and you've never had a 5T before, I would highly encourage giving this one a shot, especially at the price that, you know, the 2.0s are. You know, most guys are around $1,500 to $2,500 if they got some money in them. You know, which obviously, if you want a built rig, you know, can definitely save you a couple bucks, because these things get spendy. But overall, if you just want a fun rig out of the box and you like big scale stuff, or you've never had a 5T before, this one's a big thumbs up for me. I've never had anything this size. I've never had any of the older 5Ts. I've had nitros as a kid growing up, so, you know, I've been around the nitros and all that stuff. But this thing's a unit. It just flat out rips. I wish it was a little bit faster, but you know, obviously some gearing changes, you can definitely get some more speed out of it if that's what you want. But overall, man, this thing is a great rig. And it's super fun just to kind of bash around gravel, stuff like that. Honestly, or even a big scale track, which I've seen some videos of guys driving them on some of the tracks, and you know, they look like they perform pretty well. They fly good, and they just handle really well. So I'm gonna give this one an approval, and you know, let me know if you pick one up yourself, because like I said, I've never had a 5T before. This is my first one, and now I see why people love them so much. So go check them out if you haven't got one yourself, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.